Welcome. Just take a minute for everybody to arrive. Welcome. We're just taking a minute for everybody to arrive and drop in. Welcome to the full moon meditation for February, coming into connection with dawn. And if we rise, my love, before the daylight comes, 1,000 galleon ships will sail, ghostly around the morning sun. Nick Cave, galleon ship. So welcome to this gathering, everyone. It's so good to have you all here. Full moon in Leo, the snow moon we just watched rising outside. And welcome to the home of the full moon gatherings here on Zoom, where you're really invited into this deeply immersive community gathering. So my name is Abby, and I am one of the team at Tree Sisters. And I really want to invite you into this sacred sanctuary of togetherness for the next hour. So why are we here? Why do we gather like this? So these gatherings are about making contact with ourselves, with each other, and with all of life. They're about prioritizing a restoration of intimacy and belonging. We come together to value the self-organizing intelligence of our bodies. And we come together to connect with our sensory body and to remember our elemental nature. And so here we are, just past Imbolc, the tiny, tender shoots of spring emerging here in the Northern Hemisphere, whilst in the Southern Hemisphere, the lights are dimming and energy returning back to the quiet, to the ground. But for the next hour, wherever we're joining from, we get to share time under the light of this full moon, to pause and to reflect together. So as you know, Tree Sisters' primary reason for being is to reinstate a culture of reciprocity. So we make it as normal to give back as it currently is to extract and to take. And so while these calls are free, if you need them to be, they also offer an invitation to give back. So I'd love to invite everyone here to give back to the trees. And if you're not already a monthly donor, to maybe to consider signing up to become one. And this series of calls is exploring the relationships we have with the more than human community around us. These meditations and co-creative poetry practices are designed to reconnect us to aliveness, both personal aliveness and collective aliveness. They're a call to engagement, to love and care. So we began this series in October with becoming relational to the rocks and the stones. And then in November, we opened our eyes to make contact with the cloud people. Then we ended 2022 heading into the micro world of insects within the forest, and began the new calendar year gazing upwards and inwards to the starry galaxies. And today we greet the dawn. We greet first light and the beginning of a new day. So before I share about what will happen in the call, I would love to hear from some of you why you have joined the call today and where you are in the world, and particularly to hear if it's maybe your first time joining the call. So if you would like to come and write into the chat, it would be really lovely to hear your voices and to just know where we're gathering from. I can see lots of names that I haven't seen before. And if you're not familiar with the chat on Zoom, oh, I think that was me not allowing people to chat there, sorry. And just finding the little chat icon at the bottom of your screen and coming and sharing. Laura, welcome Laura in Colorado. Welcome Julia in Brighton, Caroline in San Francisco. Lisa, it's your first time. Welcome, Lisa. Sophia in London. Oh, they're all moving very, very fast. Andrew from Stevenage, your first time. Caroline, glad to be with my sisters again. Annabelle from London, your first time as well. Welcome, Annabelle. New York, Sia, welcome, Sia. Kirsten, my first live meeting. Welcome, Kirsten. So lots of new people. Lurka in Denmark, coming back to the calls after a long time away. Carla, to bathe in the delectable bliss we alchemize together. Yes, it is the most exciting thing is about really being in this process together. Claire, I haven't been for a while, good to be back. Welcome, Claire. Ruth, this is your first meeting. Welcome. Nancy, also. Katja, Germany, your first time. So yeah, lots of new faces, new voices to join in this process. So since there's so many new people joining us today, I'd like to say a little bit more about what's going to happen and how these calls work. So in a moment, I'll offer you an invitation to settle into yourself and to settle into the wider circle of this community, to find some comfort and safety for your body in the physical environment you're in right now. And then we'll take a journey together. And at various points, I'm going to be offering specific invitations and questions for you to come and share just what you're noticing in the chat box as we take this journey together. And these invitations are just for sharing what's waking up through your body. So if you're new to these calls, these are the sharings that form the basis of our co-created community prayer that today is dedicated to the dawn, the beginning of the day. So your participation in the weave of this poem together is really welcome in whatever way feels comfortable. If it feels available to you, please do come and share in the chat when invited to, in as least disruptive way to your own meditative process as feels possible. And you're welcome to move your body in any way that helps you to access felt sensations. You're welcome to dance, sway, roll, stretch, or simply rest back and be comfortable. Just the invitation really is to just tune into the unique experience within your body and to feel held in our togetherness and this sense of community that we're creating here. So, with all of that said, I'd like to invite us to land together, to come into ourselves, taking a couple of deep breaths and just remembering that we're arriving here from whatever we might have just been doing, different times of day, the different parts of the world that we're joining from. But just really intentionally inviting yourself into this moment, putting aside whatever you've been busy with, knowing you can pick it up again at the end of the call should you choose to. and that you're really welcome here in your whole messy, beautiful, complex body and soul. This is your place. There's no need to be any particular way. However you are, right in this moment, is absolutely welcome. And whatever your reason for being here, it's a great reason. And there's a seat in this circle for you. And just as a reminder, sometimes as we enter our felt sense, we might come close to ourselves in a particular way, meaning stuff could come up, your vulnerability, your tenderness, your grief, your anger, it's all welcome. But if it feels too much or overwhelming at any point, then I would invite you to find a way to come back to noticing the contact with the ground. Sometimes simply locating a place in you that feels safe or resourced or simply neutral, somewhere that feels warm. And just notice how that is to experience, and remember that you can come back and return your attention to this place in your body or this place in the space or room that you're in at any point. So bringing your attention now to your breath, taking an inhale and allowing that inhale to be as full as feels possible. And again, exhaling, sinking into the holding of gravity, the holding of the earth underneath you. And then bringing your attention to your heart, to your belly, to your feet. Beginning gently to notice your body here and now, full of sensations and wisdom. And allowing these sensations to just be. Offering yourself validation for your own experience in this moment. Permission to be just as you are. And noticing now the place where your body is meeting the earth body. This place of contact of bodies. Feeling how the earth holds you towards her at all times. And perhaps it feels good to have a sense of deepening this connection by growing the roots down into the earth, making deep, intertwining, interweaving contact. And perhaps noticing the possibility that in this underground world, there are also the roots of the others gathered here in circle. And as you're opening your awareness to include the shared space of all of us under this full moon, feeling the entanglement of our roots through the planet joined in this exploration. And then also expanding your awareness wider still to include the bigger relational web of life that's containing all of us, that's meeting us, that's loving us exactly as we are. And then drawing that attention back into yourself, into this moment, and into the simple noticing of your own breath, the movement of air in and out of your body. And just noticing where you might locate your center and also your edges, your skin, the tips of your fingers, tips of your toes and the top of your head. Feeling now how you are, both deeply centered and connected to the edges, making contact with the world. Now I want to invite you to imagine yourself in the most ideal place you would like to witness the dawning of a new day, of a new moment. And perhaps this is somewhere that you have already encountered these magical moments. Or perhaps it's somewhere totally imagined in this moment. Just trusting whatever is emerging through you. Perhaps you're somewhere vast and open, with an expanse of sky and space, like a beach or a desert, the Arctic tundra, top of a mountain on a clear day. Or perhaps you're somewhere more sheltered, encased in a forest or a cave, attuning to the subtle changes in light and the movement of shadows as dawn breaks. Just taking a breath to really land yourself in this space. Feel where you're making contact with sacred ground. And simply begin to notice what's around you. So where do you find yourself located to witness the birthing of this new moment? What is it like here? I want to invite you to come and share the landscape that you're inhabiting in the chat and get a sense of where dawn is awakening. If you feel to come and share this landscape in the chat, just coming in and sharing, and then just bringing yourself back inside of your experience again. And as you come back to inhabiting this landscape, just continuing to follow your curious senses. How alive are your senses in this liminal space? Noticing what at first you can see, some shapes, maybe confusing and mysterious. Maybe there are other things that are clear in this dim light. Noticing what you can see close up, whilst also considering the distance you're witnessing. And what are the sounds of this landscape, of this time of day? Are these sounds always present here, or are they specific to first light? Maybe there are some natural sounds, creatures, water, leaves, bird song. Perhaps the more man-made sounds, buildings, vehicles, tuning your own hearing. Or perhaps it's so quiet you can simply hear your breath, the sounds of your own movement. And which of your senses feels most alive in this encounter? And to invite you to come and share again in the chat, which of your senses feels most alive? And how is it to fully inhabit your sensory self? So again, just coming in to share and then bringing your attention back, dropping away from the screen and back inside of your experience. And noticing, are there any scents in the air? Perhaps the overnight dampness, the dew on the ground, maybe that has a fragrance. The plants, any animals, maybe the moist air itself. What does liminality taste like? Again, bringing that curiosity. Are you able to touch the changing light? Or to be touched by the changing light? And where does it touch you? Feeling and sensing for the vibrations of life and the space in between that's surrounding you. And deepening your presence with this enchanting moment. Noticing the colours begin to change. And noticing how the more than human world around you is responding to the slowly expanding light. Sinking into the natural awe of awakening. What kind of awe and enchantment is this that you're experiencing? How does it move through your body? Tuning in and listening. And then again, coming to share in the chats. Anything about this experience of enchantment and awe that you're noticing in your physicality. And then coming back to noticing the landscape again. Feeling for what other beings are sharing this moment with you. Who else wakes up as the day wakes up? The dawn chorus, the seagulls. And who's going to sleep after prowling in the darkness, the nocturnal creatures, the foxes, the badgers, the owls. It may not be creatures you can see, but feeling if you can perhaps sense them in the environment. And expanding your awareness to feel for what's possible in this liminal space. This time in between, this magic hour, where it is no longer dark, but it was also no longer light. Notice if you can bring yourself to absolute stillness. Immerse your whole being in the pace of this unfolding time, where it seems as though nothing is happening, but there are these micro moments of change. A little more light, a little more light, and a gradual emergence, a clearer vision, changing colours, and considering how would it be to live your life with this unforced, unfolding pace? It's the pace of your own natural grace. And feeling inside your body for what is the quality of your own internal rhythm. Something in you knows the pace that you yearn to live at. Noticing what is the quality of that pace, of that rhythm. And coming and sharing. And again, just returning back to yourself. Back to the slow unfolding of the day. The emergence of light into this landscape. Feeling, sensing, or perhaps seeing the glow of the sun on the horizon. Feeling the almighty power of this being. It's about to make itself visible to the world. To light up and illuminate. To take its daily dance across the sky. In its own time and at its own pace. So this beginning moment, this new light that's so full of potential, new, fresh, innocent birthing moment. Noticing the space of potential and possibility within yourself, within your body. As you honor this rhythm that is yours, your natural pace. What is it like to feel potential rooted inside you? Where does this seed live? Any sensations that you're noticing? What does potential feel like? It's the home of the seed. And coming and bringing those into the chat. Before again, bringing yourself back. And noticing we're at the point now where the sun has risen in this landscape that you're currently inhabiting. Noticing any change through your sensory body. Perhaps you're more aware of the season you're inside of now. There's an immediate warmth as the sun comes over the horizon. As you're able to see in what is now daylight, I want to invite you to find a warm and a safe space to rest, to settle yourself. Make that decision that even though the day has begun, we're choosing now to stop, to resist any urge to get busy and to move fast. It's simply time to rest and to sink into the presence of the risen sun, reflecting on the journey from dark to light. I want to invite you now to just ready yourself to receive our co-created poetry, our offering today to the liminal time. So in the space that you're in, just finding a place to rest. So begin to weave this offering from us all to the dawning of the day. Taking a breath. And arriving by the edge of a waterfall, an alpine plateau, moonlight melting into the dawn, a wild meadow with a pond surrounded by trees, by the edge of a waterfall, by the edge of a waterfall, frosty entanglement of the woods, an alpine plateau, moonlight melting into the dawn, a wild meadow with a pond surrounded by trees, the edge of a waterfall, the vastness and emptiness of the Northumberland coast. Top of a mountain, but it's warm, overlooking a glacial-fed lake. I'm on a deserted beach with the waves gently lapping the forest behind me, an opening in the forest. Top of a mountain, but it's warm, clear blue lake surrounded by forest. The shadows emerge across the snow under the trees. Green hills on the edge of our village, overlooking a glacial-fed lake. The top of a 14,000-foot mountain peak above the tree line with a panoramic view. Green hills on the edge of our village, darkness before dawn along the shore. The first rays of sun call me. Clear blue lake, surrounded by forest. The exquisite rapture of golden-kissed white cloud, quilts of Mauna Kea summit. Seated on an exposed rock face that is elevated above a small lake, a gentle warm breeze. A couple of white pine trees are there as companions, facing the east. Facing the east, the creek outside my window, just a few sparkles of sunrise beginning to speak. The shadows emerge across the snow under the trees, an alpine plateau. Clear blue lake surrounded by forest, on an island looking towards distant mountains, rocks brought down by the glaciers beneath my feet. A thrush sings to the dawning light. The edge of a tarn with baby oak trees growing on the edge of the shoreline. The bushveld in Namibia at a waterhole with elephant, giraffe, hyena, and the sound of a lion's roar. On an island, looking towards distant mountains, a gentle breeze rustling my jacket. The birds lift their song to a new level as the sun rises over the horizon. Wind rustles the leaves of the alders. The bushveld in Namibia at a waterhole with elephant, giraffe, hyena, and the sounds of a lion's roar. Aside from the gentle breeze, there is silence embracing me. Aside from the gentle breeze, there is silence embracing me. Looking over the Maya Camas in my beautiful Valley of the Moon, I bow to the sun rising in the east. Darkness over land, waiting in anticipation of the orange light lighting the view. The sound of melting snow trickling down the mountainside. Wind rustles the leaves of the alders. A gentle breeze rustling my jacket. The sound of melting snow trickling down the mountainside. A gentle breeze. A thrush sings to the dawning light. Doors opening and closing. Doors opening and closing, darkness over land, waiting in anticipation, the orange light lighting the view. Winter crows call the sun forth on the edge of the horizon. Winter crows call the sun forth on the edge of the horizon, utter stillness. Doors opening and closing, utter stillness, a slow awakening to the day. There is a keen wind and the sound of a running tide. Gentle lapping of the moving water. Gentle lapping of the moving water. Touch. Skin feels alive to all. Touch. Skin feels alive to all. Touch. The cold air stroking the skin on my face. Music of soft waves reaching out to me. Peaceful, the only sound of the wind rushing past my ears. Peaceful, only the sound of the wind rushing past my ears. Gentle lapping the moving water. A slow awakening to the day. My skin feels the wind and the freshness of the day. Skin tingling. Skin tingling, utter stillness. Music of soft waves reaching out to me. Skin tingling, smell of the dust and animals. Smell of the dust and animals. The cool, damp air smells of earth. The coolness of the water on my toes. Golden syrup, sun path on water, woodland, cocoon. Sun glitter through the trees. Shimmering light, clean air. Iridescent, luminous sunlight. Honk of wild geese, water lapping. Bird song, tree, wind, gentle. Alive to the sights of this luminosity, body like syrup, deeply soaking into earth. The rising sun rays connecting with my heart, warming it, bringing it alive. Coolness of the water on my toes. The coolness of the water on my toes. Skin, chill, being boundless. The coolness of the water on my toes. Cool, damp air smells of earth. Fresh, crisp, earthy, warm air. The pungent scent of the hemlocks and the firs. The rising sun rays connecting with my heart, warming it, bringing it alive. Metallic taste. Metallic taste. Skin. Chill. Being boundless. Sea smell, dry and wet sea and land weed. Little rabbit pellets. fresh, crisp, earthy, warm air, and otherworldliness. I am inside it all and find you. I am inside it all and find you. Salty brine purifies my senses. Dark winds now still. I am inside it all and find you. Sun rays play with the clouds, colouring the landscape pink and orange, soft sand on my skin. Soft sand on my skin, saltiness on my lips and gentle waves lapping. Insects buzzing about in the warming light, a divine appointment. My body opening wide as the sun opens the day. Dark night winds now still. Dark night winds now still. I'm awed by the changing colours. The clouds turn shades of pink as the golden orb rises. A divine appointment. Dark night winds now still. Soft sand on my skin, saltiness on my lips, and the gentle waves lapping. I am home. I am home, the opening of space and possibility. Oneness. Oneness. Intense spaciousness. Gold blue, my heart is lifted. Insects buzz about in the warming light. Salty brine purifies my senses. And otherworldliness. First light glowing, shifting yellow, pink and blue. First light glowing, shifting yellow, pink and blue, the opening of space and possibility. I am home. A divine appointment. My heart is lifted, deep contentment and wonder. I am home. I am home. My heart is lifted. First light glowing, shifting yellow, pink and blue, drumming on my solar plexus, chills. Drumming on my solar plexus. Appetite and easy furriness. Appetite and easy furriness. All the other than humans observing dawn's transition. A mountain beaver scurries to gather herbs. Drumming on my solar plexus, chills. Excitement for the new day as the sun begins to appear on the hazy on the horizon. Orange of sun bleeding through, glowing under my skin. All the other than humans observing dawn's transition. Excitement for new day as the sun begins to appear, hazy on the horizon, drumming on my solar plexus, glowing under my skin, chills. Life-stirring, boundless horizon. A salamander takes shelter beneath the fallen leaves. Unmoving and feeling deeply. I am open. Unmoving and feeling deeply. Frogs grow quiet. Insects begin to move. I feel blessed. Stirred with a sense of new possibilities. I feel blessed, stirred with a sense of new possibility, boundless horizon. Rustling of birds awaking, unseen beings splashing through the water surface. A salamander takes shelter beneath the fallen leaves. Stretched, shadows shrinking. Senses awaken, following the rhythm of the day, following the rhythm of the day, when still all boundaries of separation dissolve and slip away. unmoving and feeling deeply. Senses awaken. Bird holes, nests open to love and protection. Bird holes, nests open to love and protection, following the rhythm of the day. When still, all boundaries of separation dissolve and slip away. Stretched shadows shrinking. Stretched shadows shrinking, aligned to my own heartbeat. Ease. Ease, contentedness, aligned to my own heartbeat. Aligned to my heart's song, unhurried, cherishing each passing second of newness. Ease. Following the rhythm of the day, flow, no hurry, no worry. I am still while the world moves around me. I am still while the world moves around me, spacious, cyclical flow, aligned to my heart song, contentedness. Unhurried, cherishing each passing second of newness. Slow, old ambling. My cup is being filled to overflowing, finding my way through dancing with the rays of light cascading across the ground. Tree limbs tickled tremble with morning's breeze, slowing myself till my muscles relax and my limbs move more freely. Cold, gentle waves reaching my toes, sitting on sand, eyes to lightening sky. My body feels part of all elements. My cup is being filled to overflowing. Spacious, cyclical, slow, old, ambling. Finding my way through dancing with the rays of light cascading across the ground. Tree limbs tickled tremble with morning's breeze. In my throat, a giggle. In my throat, a giggle. Some blaze fire surge rich up through feet, teeming through effulgent. Gradual emergence into full radiance. Gradual emergence into full radiance, deep in belly soil. Deep in belly soil. So peaceful. So peaceful. A playful sound to greet the morning light. A playful sound to greet the morning light. In my throat, a giggle. Warm and vibrant. Sun, blaze, fire, surge. Rich up through feet, teeming through effulgent. Gradual emergence into full radiance. An old auntie, old grandma hugging me to your skirts, then lifting me into your lap to view the sunrise, relaxing in this space of change, a stirring within. What is being born is still a mystery. A stirring within. What is being born is still a mystery. Photons slide with ease through all. Pure being that holds infinite becoming. Warm and vibrant. Pure being that holds infinite becoming. The fire in my belly, Agri. Iridescent shimmer surge, teeming through warm effulgent. The stirring within, what is being born is still a mystery, being fully content with who and what I am. Took all day to get here. Stay a while. Photons slide with ease through all, drumming on my solar plexus. Orange of sun bleeding through, glowing under my skin. Under my skin, my body opening wide as the sun opens the day. Gentle waves lapping. Fresh, crisp, earthy, warm air. Skin tingling. coolness of the water on my toes, being boundless, a slow awakening to the day, utter stillness. Winter crows, the sound of melting snow, elephant, giraffe, hyena, the sound of a lion's roar. A thrush sings to the dawning light. Sun rises over the horizon. First rays of sun call me. Green hills, snow under the trees, top of a mountain. The birds lift their song. Wind rustles the leaves. Mountainside, horizon, stillness, awakening, touch. Skin feels alive to all. Hemlocks and the firs, golden syrup, sun path on water. Body like syrup, deeply soaking into earth and otherworldliness. I am inside it all and I find you. A divine appointment. Oneness. I am home. Deep contentment. Wonder. Ease. Open. Senses awaken. Unhurried. Unhurried flow. Spacious. Spacious. Filled to overflowing. Flowing myself. Flowing myself. Gradual emergence into full radiance. Morning light. Belly soil. Infinite becoming. Infinite becoming. Grateful. Grateful. What is being born is still a mystery. Infinite becoming. Warm and vibrant. So peaceful. Just allowing yourselves to be immersed in those images, in those qualities, in the shared experience of the movement from first light, sunrise. And just reflecting on how it was to receive the poem as a whole. Notice how you're experiencing yourself now in this moment, or how it was to hear your words woven in with others' experiences. And just very, very gently inviting your body to awaken back into this current time and space, taking maybe a yawn and a stretch, maybe bringing some touch to your own body, squeezing, gently awakening, taking a look around the space that you're in, feeling again the support of the ground, contact of the earth. And as you notice how you're experiencing yourself now and where you're at, just want to invite anyone come and share anything that needs to be spoken, anything that will just help you to ground, to return, to integrate the experience. To invite you to come and share again in the chat. Just anything that you're noticing, aware of. And just sometimes help to name and be with as we dropped into quite a deep space together. Noticing stillness and poetry. Simone, peaceful, I feel blessed. Thank you. Thank you, Simone, for taking part. Lisa, thank you. I feel so relaxed. Caroline, if only this sense of calm could be easily shared. Well, perhaps you can experiment with that today. Laura, my mind is absolutely quiet. I feel so grounded, slightly sleepy and peaceful. Gita, tingling with solar energy. Beautiful. Jennifer, feeling peaceful and grateful. That beautiful oneness. Thank you. Thank you, Lizette. Michelle, thank you for the sense of beauty and deep connection. Sheila, vulnerability. Thank you for naming that vulnerability. I wonder what could feel good to hold yourself in that vulnerability. Marcel, it felt like sacred ground. Tranquility. Thank you, Jay Murphy. Mary, so happy to share our feminine wisdom and grace. Yes, what a exquisite thing to witness, the wisdom that rises, the language that comes from our bodies when we gather. Julia, tears and a parcel of joy to stow in my secret place. I will jump out and share it all later. Beautiful, thank you, Julia. Eileen, deeply grateful for everyone's words, co-creating this beautiful poem. Yes, I receive it with an open heart. Yeah, such exquisite words. Lerka, I hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. I feel so centered inside myself. The word unhurried really stayed with me. Yeah, that's a favorite of mine. I dissolved into the poetry reading. Perfect. Thank you. Waves of peace and openness. Full in my being, feeling the loving ocean we're all part of. Lizette, thank you. I must leave now. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I would echo many of those appreciations there of the thank you for the really wholehearted participation in the weave of our poem together today. And yeah, I'd really like to invite you over this next month before the next new moon to spend some time with the dawn, if that's perhaps your practice or perhaps something that you may feel drawn to. And yeah, just to, make contact, find yourself somewhere outside or sitting with tea close to a window, somewhere where you can notice the changing colours and come into relationship to liminality, to be with this emerging pace, this day, just to be there, to pray, to follow your instinct, to sing, to speak, whatever feels good to you. But yeah, just remembering that your attention is the purest form of love, and you can show up and be present to yourself and to the breaking of the day. And yeah, I want to say thanks to Melanie for being here, holding all the steady tech behind the scenes, and wish you so many blessings for this moon, and may it just gently warm you onwards. And next month in March, to conclude this series, we'll be exploring becoming relational to the earth herself, to the soil and the compost, to to the dirt and the mud. So I'm really excited about that, the compost. So join me in marveling at the birthplace of so much life. I hope you'll be able to join me again for that call. And I wish you all many, many moon blessings. And thank you for being with us today.